Hey y'all, Jamie here, proud 54-year-old trans woman from New Orleans. So, where last I left off, I had gone home with a really hot Cuban guy named Danny. Did not have sex with him because he was rather ripe when he took his clothes off, and I just couldn't. Come to find out, he was my friend Candy Slice's ex. And when things didn't pan out between me and him, he went to her the next day. And I don't know what he said to her, but he stirred her up. And it was probably because he was pissed at me for not putting out for him. I'm sure, in fact, that that's what it was. But he told her that I was trying it with him and, stirred her up to want to beat me up. And Candy came to the roundup with him in tow. And she started screaming in my face, "Bitch, you don't know who I am. My name is Candy motherfucking Slice. And bitch, I'm nothing motherfucking nice. And I will lick the blood off my blade." Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, she was hot. She was hot under the collar, baby. She was not happy about what had happened. So I had to, basically, look, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing happened. I tried telling her nothing happened. Of course, he was not cooperating. Typical man. And, he really tried to stir it up between me and Candy. And I thought it was going to come to blows, but it didn't. I mean, to this day, her and I are still friends. So, yeah, we're good. And Danny is not her boyfriend. And he hasn't been in my life since the 80s. So, is what it is. Now, during all of this time, listen, I was bouncing around between Fun Limited and the Mile My, dancing at both places, working back and forth. When I'd get a wild hair up my butt at one, I'd go to the other. And they were both owned by the same, Henry Wan was part owner in the Mile My, and he owned Fun Limited. So, I was keeping it in the company, I guess, And one day I was at work, and guess who showed up? Damon. Yeah, good old Damon, my first boyfriend, my first serious relationship. We had broken up. We had broken up a while, several months before this. And he came back and he was wanting to woo me back, And truth be told, I mean, I did have a lot of love in my heart for Damon. And, I was like, listen, if you can try to prove to me that you're trying to work towards more of a life and a better life than just what we're doing here, then, we'll see where this goes, And he was palling around with Ricky, who was Terry's old boyfriend. And, his name was Ricky White. Yeah, he had a brother, Tony. They were both around the trans scene, dating the girls. But yeah, Damon would come over with Ricky, and he would get me and Bobby Joe and Terry stoned on weed. And he was trying to woo me back. And I wasn't letting him stay with us, but I was entertaining spending time with him, And another person that he was spending time with at this point was a guy named Walker. I had never met Walker before, but I did then. Damon introduced us. Walker was a good old country boy. He was hot. He was hot. I think he was from Mandeville, I want to say. And he had it was the 80s. He had the long, kind of Billy Ray Cyrus hair, from Achy Breaky Heart hair. Yeah, it was definitely like that. And of course, back in those days, I just thought, oh, he is just sexy. But I was trying to see where things were going to go with Damon, And unfortunately, I couldn't get back into the swing of it with Damon. I honestly couldn't. And so when it rolled around to, I believe it was around Easter, I sat Damon down and I told him, listen, I love you. In fact, I love you enough. I got you straight from your mother's house at 15 years old. You don't know the world or life yet, and I want more for you in this world than what I can give you in the trans world. And I told him, I said, Damon, the trans world is not, my life is always, at that time I thought, my life is always going to be around the sex industry and scratching and scraping to survive and fighting in the streets and, everybody crawling all over everybody like hamsters in a cage and just, that's what I thought my future was going to be. And I didn't want that for him, honestly. Yes, I was enjoying my singleness, but I also did not want that for Damon. And I told him, I love you enough to let you go, because my honest to God wish for you is that you find, a wife and have kids, and that you just go and live a life, Damon. And as much as it broke my heart, I told him I had to let him go for good, for good. And if you want to know how he responded, y'all know the routine. Be here tomorrow and I will too. I love you all for watching. I love you for commenting, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.